Hey guys, this is Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? So I was gonna leave tonight off with just a wasp egg, but something came across my purview on Telegram, and holy shit. Holy shit. I read the introduction or like a statement from this document. I fell in love right away. Right away. And I'm going to caution everybody before I even begin. Take what resonates with you. I know a lot of people, when they hear about channeling, which is just about a lot of the books that I already read, Urantia, Awaspe, The Law of One, the Keys of Enoch, all of them. And most works are channeled. You just are not recognizing that the voice inside your head is not just yours alone. It is from and many people interpret names and deities and things of different cultures and vernaculars in such terms. So I'm going to read a few of these passages from this article or essay, whatever it is. It's incredible. Before I begin, and before I even tell you what goes on in life, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Share, because it's caring. Plucking and getting the knowledge out is what I am trying to do. That is my mission, is to pluck knowledge, information that I resonate with. And you might too. You might not. That's okay. Something I just watched really hit home for me. And it's the act of caring. I care to get this knowledge out. How am I doing that? Is by creating this YouTube channel and putting out the information for free for all to see. But at some point, there must be an energy exchange. And it's okay if you can't. An energy exchange is hitting that like button, is sharing and getting the word out. If you don't resonate with it, someone else might, and it might wake them up, and it might make them aware that there's more than one book paradigm happening here. And that one book could be whatever one book you grew up with and was indoctrinated with. And not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but if you limit your knowledge to just that one book and you could preach it and you have memorized it, are you gaining enough knowledge to know about everything else that might go on in the paradigm? So if you get anything from my work, a light bulb moment, a connection, a dot connected, a book, a new book to read, anything, please help support my work. I am trapped here. I am putting in forth motion to clean out my house and sell items so I can actually move and get a job and be a active part of society again. And spread my love and light where I should be doing that now, and I can't. And I got Princess co-host right here, and her hair is going in my notes. So what am I going to read? This is, it's incredible. The Rainbow Masters, the Magnificent Seven, by the Masters of Phoenix Journal. Copyright position statement and disclaimer. This is what really hooked me onto this. If my cat's tail would get out of the way, I'd love you, Giggy. The Phoenix Journals are intended as a real-time commentary on current events, how current events relate to past events, and the relationships of both to the physical and spiritual destinies of mankind. All of history, as we now know it, has been revised, rewritten, twisted, and tweaked by selfishly motivated men to achieve and maintain control over other men. When one can understand that everything is comprised of energy and that even physical matter is coalesced energy and that all energy emanates from God's thought, one can accept the idea that successful focusing of millions of minds on one expected happening will cause it to happen. If the many prophecies made over thousands of years are accepted, these are the end times, specifically the year 2000, the second millennium. That would put us in the sorting period, only a few short years from the finish line. God has said that in the end times would come the word to the four corners of the world, so that each could decide his or own course of towards or away from divinity based on truth. So God sends his hosts, messengers, to present the truth. This is the way in which he chooses to present it, through the Phoenix journals. Thus, these journals are truth, which cannot be copyrighted. They are compilations of information already available on Earth, researched and compiled by others, some, no doubt, for this purpose, which should not be copyrighted. Therefore, these journals are not copyrighted except Sip Poo Odyssey, which is fiction. The first 60 or so journals were published by America West Publishing, which elected to indicate that a copyright had been applied for on the theory that the ISBN number so necessary for booksellers was dependent upon the copyright. Commander Hatan, oh, we know that name, the primary author and compiler, insisted that no copyrights be applied for, and to our knowledge, none were. If the truth is to research the four corners of the world, it must be freely passed on. It is hoped that each reader will feel free to do that, keeping in context, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, who is Hatan? Hatan is a part of the social memory complex of Ra, Ra of the Law of One, Quo as well, all intermingled together. Hatan is not frequented in the Law of One, but does show up in the Law of One and also the Wanderer's Handbook, which I go over and through a lot. So I'm going to read the foreword. Again, take what resonates with you. It's very important that you use your discernment. And that's with especially anything that I read. Because today, during a WASPy, oh, did we find some interesting tidbits out about Yeshua and what Yeshua really actually is. Now, do I hold that to be true? I don't know. I got to research it a little bit more. But I find it damn interesting. So again, take what resonates with you, but in essence, there could be things in these words that is spoken by different entities that may put a bigger picture together out of that puzzle that we all hold our pieces to. Again, we all have puzzle pieces and we all need to put the greater picture together. And what I am noticing, and that is something that I just watched and it like so clicked in my mind, is the fact that people like me who are stuck in situations that are beyond my control, by the way, ask for help. But it's not that I'm sitting back and doing nothing about my situation. Of course, I am, and I have been the last 7 months, doing and going out and looking and finding and trying and putting my energy out to manifest something better for myself. But without others caring in a more collective sense, shit don't happen. And it's not because the law of attraction isn't real, and it's not because we all don't want a better world to prosper in. It's that you're going on your day-to-day basis and not caring and not putting the action into caring. In some movements, if you say we are all one, but yet we're all yet divided, and yet you're supposed to be helping others out, but you're not doing such actions, then nothing's going to change. I'm hoping by putting this information out, and not just this, all the books that I read, I'm being asked to do this from above. It's again, I say in every one of my videos, I cannot pronounce shit. Wording that is not in English, and even English words, I cannot project certain things because of my situation here, teeth and all. And I'm also dyslexic. So sometimes I see things that are not really there, but then I'm seeing them, literally. And that's embarrassing, and it makes me look stupid. But I had to overcome my fear of reading out loud. I have my IEP from 2nd grade when I had ear surgery because I was hard of hearing and I read lips, stating that my worst and my biggest issue was reading. And now it's all I do, but reading out loud. So I had to conquer a lot to do this. And I'm putting my actions out there in hopes that it manifests. So just take this into resonance and really start thinking about the actions you take, how you actually care to helping everybody prosper in harmonious love and light, bringing people together, putting action into words. It's the doing, not just the thinking. Yeah. So this is the forward recording number 1, Sananda. Sunday, October 1st, 1989. Ooh, I was in kindergarten. 7 a.m., year 3, day 46. And after the 7 angels had poured forth their teachings, and few have heard nor seen, then shall I come, for my creation shall be brought into peace. I shall be the word of God made manifest, and my name is called Sananda. And I shall come forth as on the pure white clouds, and those called faithful and true shall bear up my banner, for they are the loyal hosts of the heavens in themselves. And the trumpets shall sound, and mine ones who come with me will go forth and gather in my flocks, my bird tribes, who have tended my places of creation, and ye shall witness and scribe that day shall never be wiped from the memory of man. Oh yes, man of earth, heed well the gracious words of wisdom from these teachers of the 7 rays of life, for they have come to see the journey through. They shall be known to the faithful as wonderful. They shall be known to thine eyes as death. They come forth in this volume to make known their energies unto this scribe, and unto you ones who will receive. Each has a realm of truth that you might have instructions, and light of function for you will need rebuild and become in wholeness once again. For each thing that you have brought to pass upon this wondrous orb, you shall be given reminding For the vessels shall be emptied, and the rewards appropriate unto each and every one. None shall escape, not through murder, suicide, hiding, or running away. All shall be meted forth his justice before the heavenly councils. Has it not, and is it yet coming to fulfillment? Are not the malignant lesions come forth upon the ones who continue to bear the mark of the creature, who has finally brought his wondrous planet to her knees? Those who have won their control through greed and lust and selfishness. You have builded your very foundations upon the idle statues of selfish, fleshy indulgence, power, greed, and material possessions. And the oceans become as the dead waters in which the magnificent life forms can no longer survive. For the great changes shall come forth, and the waters will be diluted with your pollution, and the seas will boil as the changes come, and the seas are come again into the land masses, and then the new seas can renew and heal. Thy rivers, lakes, and streams shall run as blood forth through your greed and lust. You have contaminated all that has been given into your trust, and he who partakes of the waters or is caught up within the mighty whirlpools shall be stricken, and life blood shall be poured forth upon the waters. Thy growing waters shall have no beds upon which to flow, and the eye will behold this ravaged fields, which will bear not. But it shall ring throughout the heavens that the rewards are just and true, for as ye have sowed upon this wondrous place given into your care, so shall your harvest be. Then there shall be fire, which will rain as from the heavens, for man shall lose upon man. The holocaust for evil has no limits to its desired destruction. And when the earth shall also pour forth the corruption from within, it too shall be spewed forth upon the lands and seas. But from the labor of the mother shall come new land masses, and renewed, and before changes are complete, all will be as not recognized. And the kingdom of the creature shall be plunged into darkness, and those who have followed his ways shall be in torment, and they shall curse God for their pain, and festering sores and dying bodies. But they have come by these things through their homage unto the creature, to whom they have give their very lives, as they ridiculed the laws and claimed their rights as individuals. To, if it feels good, go for it. How many will remember any pleasure from such degraded behavior, and those brief moments of so-called pleasure? Will the price be worth it? Ah, the great river shall begin to dry. The great river called Euphrates shall be dried up, so that the kings from the east will march their armies westward without hindrance. And then there shall be a further gathering of all the rulers of the world to gather for battle against God on the great coming judgment day. But I shall have the infinite hosts of heaven, and I shall come as unexpectedly as a thief. Blessed are all who are awaiting me, who keep their robes and luggage packed in readiness. That does not mean thy ascending bags. It means you better keep your intention and soul auras clean and pure, that you do not have to wait the cleaners, for there will not be a time for cleaning on that day of days. The blink of an eye is all ye will have. Do not have cause to walk naked and ashamed before me, for that is how it shall be. Stripped of all, for naught shall be hidden. All these great gathered armies shall be gathered near a place which is known as the mountain of Megiddo, Armageddon, to those of you who are unstudied. And then the last vessel shall be poured forth, and a mighty noise shall come forth, saying, it is finished. The earth will shudder and break, and upheaval such as man has never dreamt shall come to pass. The mountains will be flattened, and great chasms will be opened. The waters will pour forth, and ice shall rain from the heavens, which can cover the entire of a human being, and weighing as the grain-filled pouches. Further, just as I shall come forth in my selfishness, So shall come forth that one ye have claimed to be non-existent. For the angel Lucifer and his fallen bands shall come forth as from the pits, and man will be astounded and terrified, for they knew not the beast which they have served so truly. And you march ever closer and closer unto fray. Where will you be stationed? Will you be waiting until tomorrow when ye have more time to read of truth and prepare? Will you be waiting for another to do your preparation in your stead? Will you simply be sitting and waiting the knowledge to filter as a soft rain about your ears and eyes, and somehow just drift on up to the clouds? To be with me? Beloved ones, I shall be most occupied on that day with my brother from the pits. Will you wait until there is no place else to go but into the pits, where he is again cast into the pits with his bands of renegades? Will you be prepared to bear and survive the incursions of the interim bombardments in your physicalness? Will you have your earthen shelters prepared in your ladders and water cast filled against that day? You sit in groups and praise my name, which most do not know of my current label, even though that the Bible has told you that I bear a new name across my continents. You claim to eagerly await my return, that you might float up to the sky and meet me in the clouds. Will you still be waiting after I have come and gone? Will you have missed me again? Even my native brothers of ancients have been corrupted, and few recognize the great white spirit who promised to return. How many are trying to see my arrival through the dollar bill of paper of eyeglass lenses of thickened gold? So be it, for he who refuses to listen will only hear the final trumpet, and it will be finished. To my scribes who penned these pronouncements and labor in my fields in weary discipline, I shall bring you home, and those ones who petition and share that which they have. Even the most tiny input is blessed without measure, and thy cups shall run over in abundance on that day. Not even the most minute contribution shall be in oversight, for you are most beloved and blessed unto me and my hosts. I am captain of this cause, the design laid forth, and now the word goes forth as the word of God, and you are my faithful and true. And on that day, the persecution shall be returned unto thy persecutors, and woe unto those who have wounded and martyred my lambs. If ye are not with me, then you are against me, and shall be sorted forth in like manner, each to his own wisdom or foolishness. Things are so obvious and preponderant among you every day that you must see and know. If you do not see, it is because you are black in your eyes and stopper your ears, and are refusing to attend that which is your destruction. You claim to love of thy families, your children, do you? Most of you keep them in hostage in the deadly places for a cause of your own convenience and greed. It is time to ponder these truths most carefully and bring into honor these ones who dare to bring unto you this knowledge. You have gone beyond this segment of gentle nudging to awaken you. The alarm clock is running down, it's winding you. And those ones who tender unto you must realize that the time of beauteous and wondrous speculation and light spreading in group chanting is over. Do mine own ones hear of me? Do mine own sent speakers and scribes hear me? The trimester of playing get acquainted game is past. The time of charging for the dawdling at seminars is past. Are you into the how it is at the hand and passing rapidly? It is in full swing. Preparation and blunt choices time. The gentle, firmly curtain of soft and comfortable self-comforting cosmic Christ consciousness is over. I come forth in newness of harness, and the choices are here now. Those teachers who claim to serve in my name will not gain by simply changing of my name like a suit of clothes. There is no mystical confusion about who I am. And further, stop of your making gods of your space, brethren, who come to you to tell you the way, and you have made cults unto them. You diminish their truth, and you seal your fate in the bargain. So it be, for ones continue to tell the seekers that which the seeker wishes to hear, and it will cost these ignorant ones most dearly. I requested that this credential be putting to binding, that truth can come forth, and introduction be given forth again to these teachers, Kohans, of the rays of life, for they are your most close guides and instructors. You will place them with the archangels for a level of stature, for they are the masters having ascended. They sit at the higher council with Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Zadkiel, Jophiel, Morani, Muru, Kuthumi, Raphael, Quetzalcoatl, and others, for the elder races of which I shall not name them all, for in most instances they will not be your closest guides, for their purpose and service vary. Do not become stagnant while toying with the energy possibilities. You will know who is your guide, or send guides. It is not for you to spend a valuable time in position. The energies are coming ever close and closer into your proximity, and soon you shall not miss of their presence. Come into your decision, for the glass lies upon its side, and you are in your interim hours, so be it. And upon these words go my seal of truth. It is time for you to make an all-out thrust to get these messages of truth unto your brothers, for I am come again to bring my people home. In love and blessings of infinite measure, I place my hand upon your heads, you lambs of my own, for I honor you most greatly, for you serve long and well. Salai. I am the one you call Jesus, Emmanuel. My creator calls me Sananda. I am the one who you await. I am that I am Sananda. This portion shall be first in the book of the Rainbow Masters, for each represents a fragment of the whole and bears witness to the truth in guideship for you ones upon the planet Earth. They are magnificent Kohans who will respond at a moment's call, and you must come into comfort one with another, that our journey can be made in perfection, each with his own contribution. So be it, and upon this beginning, I place my benediction. Again, take what resonates with you. Chapter 1, recording number 1, Atan. Monday, September 25th, 1989, 6:45 a.m., year 3, day 40. I am Atan, to counsel Dharma in the glory of that which is. There is so much to be written and rewritten from men's pays little attention to that which has previously been given unto him. Each time, however, that it is again brought into his attention, he pays a bit more attention. That which was brought forth 30 of your years ago can now be uncovered and confirmed in truth. You humans of Earth Station are caught in a battle of life struggle, from which you must be transmuted, for you cannot simply evolve into higher substance. You have worked far too long in the discipline of self-gratification and bred by the dark masters. All the signs are present. These portions shall be placed afore the message of 7 Kohans of the 7 rays of light. The purity of these teachers and the orders established have been degraded, and names themselves taken and usurped by the evil brotherhood, to cause the human to lose of his path unto his greater heritage. It was that these orders were established so much longer ago than you ones can imagine, and were only for the designation of identification that you might recognize a name, a label, just as the Master Christos has many labels according to the language and cycle of evolution. I have had as many labels as you have groups of people. It does not mean I bear separate energies, only that man must give all things labels, for he can no longer discern pure energy in silence. Ye are bounded by need of words to communicate, and still you cannot have accuracy. For instance, the fraternities Rose Crucis, which was the order of the Rose Cross, in no way resembles that which was established to those eons of sequence past, and label yourselves in truth with those labels almost assures that you will not be accepted as other than workers of satanic orders. For Satan has cleverly and totally absorbed a compilation of people who called themselves by those names in your present days. Man does not wish to know his ancestry. It is easier to drift in a sea of mystery and mysticism of, well, I was molded of dirt, was tempted by the serpent, will live out my life in evil, will somehow recover and meet the Master Christ somewhere in the air, sometime, somewhere, when all the signs were present. All the signs are present, children, and yet ye wallow in your preschool ignorance, accepting that which is the lie and refusing that which is truth, and persecuting those ones who are given the truth in this manner. Truth bringers do not reap great rewards from their tasks. They do not have seminars to entertain the masses. They do not study the great accepted authors of books of authority. They shut their mouths, open up their minds, and receive the truth further. Unless you receive of the truth, you shall not be drifting on any clouds to anywhere except more dense recycling in neither worlds, or drifting in the same type of astral void as you have chosen up until this sequence of your current soul existence. There is only purity in the kingdoms of light. If evil touches within the kingdom of light, that portion is removed. Who is telling the truth? You ones petition unto me, how can I tell if this one or that one is real? Is he of truth or the lie? Most simply, my Sheilas, most simply discern. If he stands or sits before you and teaches less than the laws of creation and the laws of God, he is not of me. This does not mean that man is not allowed to err, but he is not allowed to condone evil in any measure. Man does not like the laws of creation and the laws of God, so he rewrites them in order to make them right unto himself. Man has rewritten all commandments given unto him, and if one does not fit into his personal way of practice, he makes new ones. Then churches are built and reformed to suit the needs of current belief. No, it matters not what man chooses to rewrite or reform if he breaks the laws of creation as given. He is come into evil. The laws are given in simplicity by the original instructions from the creation of earth are quite sufficient. My precious ones, it is through the neglect and reforming and false perception that your earth is now to the front and point of destruction. Man is the most ignorant lot and must learn through the most difficult route that can conjure. So be it. Do not think that what the so-called Christians of today, or during the Crusades or the Inquisition, was of the law, nay, that is of evil man's doing. These lessons will also be turned away, for truth is not that which man wishes to hear. He will continue to listen to his human teachers with the large congregation so that he can continue in his evil ways and consider himself blessed. He will choose of the largest congregations in his addition that he not have to give as much proportionately. He innately knows that he is not being given the law of God, and therefore he can fudge a bit, and no one of importance will know he knows it is not. All that great to get within the inner temples of stone. I am most simple in being, mine laws most sufficient, most succinct, and I can most surely repeat them unto you here, for they are written in every holy book. You have, even in the satanic verse, for evil must have listed the laws that the followers of satanic followers set as their goals. The breaking of each and all commandments are as given by God and the creation. It gets harder and harder for them to be individual in their practices, for evil is so rampant and the rules so regularly rewritten to suit a doctrine of a given cult that they must get more and more heinous in their activities in order to be different. And you ones moan and weep in the proclaimed, what has become of our world? It is dying, my children. It is dying, for you have become a part of the destructive evil. The laws of God. You shall honor the Lord thy God with all thy being, and have no other gods before you. For I have created you in the image of myself in honor, balance, and harmony, to act and become one with and within the creation. The creation alone is infinite and omnipotent. The laws of creation are infinite in total. The laws of God handed down to man are the rules to guide his life and maintain order, as should be the laws of government. The greatest of all the laws of the creation is to achieve the wisdom of knowledge, inasmuch as this will enable you to wisely follow the laws thereof. In knowledge and truth, you shall act through the laws of the creation, or you will be in the breaking of them. Rewriting them according to man's translation will not change one whit or tittle of the truth. When it is said unto you, thou shalt not kill, there is no sometimes or maybe. If another man attacks you, will inherent to kill of you, he dies instead. Has he not committed of his own murder? But if you have provoked him into defending himself from your intention to kill, have you not committed of your own suicide? A great problem arises. Who should then execute the murderer, the rapist? He who kills is one who commits murder, saying that a man has the deserving of death in human format, for an action is sometimes good perception, although ye are not to sit in judgment of the soul of any man, if you have confined him in physical form from physical life. Is that not better punishment? However guilty are all who did not act in self-defense or according to a given verdict, when that one act to kill or speak and practice evil. You have no right to take of that which I have given, for that is my judgment. This is true, be it at conception or terminal transition. If, however, you do not measure the worth of the gift of life, which I give unto your being, then you have likewise discarded my truth. If the remainder of my laws have been honored, there will be no need for abortions, for there would be no unwanted human physical babies. If laws are broken in lust and or ignorance because of false teachings of man, then is murder, and the judgment will most harsh indeed. It does not mean that one will not be forgiven for his ignorant transgression, But to compound the crime with another and greater one is most damaging indeed. Thou shalt not commit adultery, not sometimes or maybe never. The gift of sexual union is to create offspring that are wanted and carefully accepted. Any other use of such is to have human physical pleasure and is therefore wrong. You wish to claim that it is man given right to fornication and seek pleasure? No, it is a testing of which you have all failed 99.9%. Failure. You have overpopulated your world, and now the unbalance will cost you dearly. You have ceased to assume proper responsibility of the outcome of that behavior. You degrade it further by calling it love. Think about it. Do not equate it to the animal behavior of the creation in nature. Animals will not populate beyond their balance ability to survive. When they so do, they fall into hard times, and much death is wrought by nature upon them. So be it. And again, I don't agree with everything here. I don't. I don't subscribe to a lot of this either. So just being clear, again, I'm taking what resonates with me, as you should as well. My whole basis is if we are fragmentizations of God, we're fractals of God. And God has experienced this 3D reality plane simulation, holographic simulation through us. Then he's experiencing and wanting certain experiences to gain more knowledge. Now, if you're in a relationship, it's human animalistic nature to have sex. And I don't see anything wrong with that. And what happens if every time you do the deed and no happens, then you're wrong, then you fail? Again, I don't believe in such nonsense. Take it as it resonates with you. I'm just reading something that I find very interesting. And again, it's not here. I'm not here to subscribe any one thing onto you. You could believe 100% of this. You could believe nothing of this. I just think different perspectives can be given a chance. And again, we are living in hell. This is hell. But we've been ignorant, and not to say that we've been blindsided. Many people knew about it, but now it's on a massive conscious scale. More people are waking up to this knowledge. More people are becoming aware that shit ain't right. What the hell is going on? And literally hell is here. So I just want to put that out there. I do not agree with that at all. No, you shouldn't be cheating on your husband or your wife. It is what it is. Divorce. Or you should know better. I mean, I guess it's okay to look, but don't act. I don't know. I don't like it. Love has not, most wise, to do with interactions. Love is pure and is from the soul mind. All else is a desire for power, control, and purely physical indulgences of flesh lust. It is truly the ultimate downfall of man as human entity. Kingdoms have been fortified for 30 seconds, and in an illicit relationship, kingdoms fall, families are broken, and hearts are broken, and lives devastated. Do not degrade the term love by calling of such actions as love. And give no such commandment as that a woman should be subservient unto a male in all things, that was brought forth by man, that he might indulge his physical power and control. That's the truth. You shall not give false oath. Do not swear on anything, for your word shall be known as truth, and naught is greater than thy word. To give oath on a book or a person is a lying from the beginning. Ye tell truth or ye lie, there is not else. Sometimes a lie is truth indeed. Judge you not, lest you be likewise judged. This does not mean that you shall not discern godliness from evil. It means that you should not judge the soul of another, for you have no means of doing. If a man breaks the laws of men, then his actions must be judged, not the soul. If the man has broken the laws of the emperor or government, and not the laws of God or the creation, and that law is not founded in the laws of creation, then the law is false. Hold no idols before you. There is no magic in a thing. Truth, wisdom, and knowledge comes from within that portion of self known as soul, and all is created and manifested from that source. No thing will do of anything save mislead you into evil. Honor of thy parents, for they have acknowledged your habitation for your soul through agreement. That means to give unto them honor. It does not mean bend and scrape or feel they are in the owing unto you of anything. But as you were cared for, it is just that you, in turn, care for them. If they cared for you not, then there is unbalance. If you pull from your responsibility to your family or neighbor to give unto them that which is unjust, all should be cared for in love and honor of life. Do not confuse of thy giving of thy tithe unto a church group of man given doctrine with giving unto me. Very little of your gifts ever make it into my truthful works. Beware the ones who pound upon you or limit thy growth as to the amount of thy giving, for they seek falsely. I also say to the give thy gift is in secret. Thus no man shall be given to know if he inquires. He is of evil intent for human purpose, and not for the kingdom of God or tending of the creation. He is in the solicitation of funds to keep of himself his temples tended. My work is done in the hearts of men, and not just within the stone temples of beauteous symbols. The gutter is a most wondrous temple within which to begin thy work and contribute, for there is my church in double. Man must eat every day, not just one Easter, Christmas, or whenever there seems to be an appropriate day for a food drive, or thy contributions unto survival shelter system that could also house your homeless in non-emergency times. Try thy contributions into that which puts my words of the truth before the fellow man, that he might find of his way. No derelict would dare come into thy stone temples to sit among the self-proclaimed elite. If he so did, he would be set aside and shunned in the happy hour of sharing his after the lecture from the self-appointed teacher. Let me get this Scoochie hat over. No other law needed. You must do, be, and give unto others as you would receive. If you would have a balanced, harmonious world, you need no other before you, for this is one that fits all things. You would not like another to steal of thy things. You would not like your spouse to covet the neighbor's spouse. It would make you feel most insignificant and angry. And you shall simply honor that which is the creation of God's law in all manner, and you should not have cause to worry about Armageddon. Continue in the way of the world, and you have better spend all your remaining time in action of cleaning up your act. I believe you ones term it. Whether you like of it or do not is of no concern to me. You're going to be given truth. You who recognize of it and come in unto the truth will find the life eternal. Those who continue to mislead and deny of my teachers sent forth for thy account shall wonder what happened. Truth passes by while one's allowed evil to place the blindfold tightly around the eyes and ears. You are told extraterrestrials must be of evil. Why? I am an extraterrestrial. Insu, Jesus, Sananda is an extraterrestrial. How else do you think we can come? How is it you ones only believe that evil brother? How dare you limit thy very life source, who gave unto you the very creation? Woe unto you, children, who turn continually to darkness, for if you do not come into knowledge, you will surely perish with those who teach falseness unto you. You go unto thy church houses, and a man who claims to know more than you tells you anyone claiming to receive of God or the masters are of the devil. How so does he claim to come by his knowledge? Oh, a book written well after the fact? Or does he claim to pray and speak to God or the Christ and receive a response? Else why do ye pray? How does this happen? Children of earth, place, my little wayward and blind children, it is time to come into knowledge and truth, and stop of your silly games, for your human placement earth can bear no more, and she shall be given unto the rebirthing and healing for those wounds you have perpetuated upon her being. You were sent forth as caretakers of this wondrous creation, and you have destroyed your very life substance. So be it, for it shall be as it shall be, and those who are with me will be with me, and those who shall not shall move with the fallen ones of evil. So it is, for not otherwise could it be. Even unto the midnight hour shall you be awaited, but he who waits unto that hour might very well find the clouds filled and his space fortified. It is not as whimsical nor magical as you perceived, foolish little ones. You are somehow going to ascend into the air and unto the clouds to be with him? How? Just drift about in the air somewhere? Where, oh foolish sheep, who eat of the loco weed? Ye shall perish of the poison of foolishness. Here is thy daily bread. You asked me for thy daily bread in your ritual prayer. Well, here it is. You are going to learn of the 7 rays and the ancient orders, the demise of Lemuria and Atlantis and other civilizations before yours. You're going to learn of the Christed civilizations of what you call this new world geographically. This poor little scribe cannot write enough hours in a day, so you will need research as you come into queries, for it is given unto you and you did not receive it. We shall point these things out unto you, allow a communion with thy ethereal teachers, and then you shall decide for yourself and none other. You shall not be given to lean on the truth or the lie of another. 'Tis just you and me, brother, just you and me. So be it, for I have spoken and have spoken. I accept you to be in the hearing. Thy days are numbered upon that wondrous place of the creation, and you shall be in the accounting for your participation and growth. It is called the day of judgment. How will you be judged? Oh, yes, the God within will judge self. Already it is so, for you have fallen, have already judged yourselves unworthy. Ponder this word very, very carefully. You have already judged and are paying the penalties in thy present circumstance, exactly as you have so judged thy worthiness. Man has pronounced his doom upon himself, for he has already judged his lot unworthy to survive. This is why the fortune tellers and prophets are always correct, as in their revelations, for man has already judged himself. So be it, it is done. All to be finished is only in the playing thereof. Let me take departure of you, Dharma, that you might take rest before we move deeper into the lessons and remindings of truth. I am that I am Atan, of the one lighted creator, source. Let there be no misunderstanding of my presence, for though I have been labeled by many words and utterings, I am that which I am, and thy time of choosing is at hand. Interesting. So I'm going to read chapter 2, and I'm going to leave it after this one because there's a lot. But again, this is not to place anybody in fear. This is just to open up your paradigm. Recording number 2, Atan, Monday, September 25th, 1989, 2:37 p.m., year 3, day 40. Atan, present to continue. Peace, Dharma, as the energy rests most heavily upon you this day. Do not be anxious, for we stand guard over you most carefully. The 7 rays of life. Ones who could newly into the lessons must now have opportunity to draw on integration. Most seem to think that in an interim of time betwixt 2,000 years ago and this day, that we of the higher dimensions sat and twiddled. Not so, and further, there were brothers in thy service and guidance instructors from long before the time of Emmanuel. These ones are spoken of in the books you call holy, as the 7 spirits before the throne. I shall not dwell at length on historical data at this time, for it is well documented by a scribe who was schooled by your master teacher Sananda in the place recognized as Peru. One came forth and gave unsanctioned information. Thusly did he give much incorrect information. The historical value at this point, for purpose of introduction and visitation of the Kohans of the 7 rays of brotherhood of the 7th rays, is not material. It is important only that you ones in the reading from total blindness, and in this I include this scribe, can know that the brotherhood of the 7 rays are your mentors, and men's individuality comes under the forces of the great 7 rays of life. One is guided by the powerful forces at work within these rays. Each and all flow into conscious life upon one of these rays, and your life experience is influenced by the rays through which you descend. The first ray is the way of leadership. The second ray is the way of education. The third ray is the way of philosophy. The fourth ray is the way of the arts. The fifth ray is the way of science. The sixth ray is the way of devotion, and the 7th ray is the way of ceremony. The esoteric colors of rays are red, light blue, green, yellow, indigo, rose, and violet. Just for hasty explanation, all the members of the Brotherhood of 7 Rays are identified as being in the Amethystian order. Amethystian. This is the violet or amethyst purple ray, the violet ray. The word amethyst comes from amethystos, the Greek word meaning a cure or remedy for drunkenness. The violet ray will prove it is purifying aspects to be pure for the earth's drunkenness, a remedy for her sickness. This does not mean that the Amethinian order is going to save the world from itself. It does mean that the brotherhood working in the seventh ray focus will be of great importance in the days ahead for Chila's students of truth. Listen for the voices of input for these, your guides, for they will tell you the way and bring great and wondrous gifts of knowledge and truth unto you of earth transition. The Kohen of the seventh ray is beloved Germain, Master Saint Germain Ragosi. You see, labels are devious, determinate. In other words, he is Lord, Master Teacher, Spiritual Head of the Amethinian Order. This is time of transmutation and translation of a third dimensional planet into her fourth dimensional graduation. There is something most important for you to learn right here and right now. The Amethinian Order is an illuminist order of Essenes, in that all members follow the Essene way of life. This is what would be the Essene founded on truth, not the current man-adjusted truth. I will lay a bit of truth upon thine eyes, for the world would claim that Emmanuel was an Essene. Nay, he was not. Neither did he dwell long with the Essenes. It does not mean he totally disapproved of their ways. It means he connected himself with no cult, save the path of total truth and light. Emmanuel had gone away unto the city of Ephesus. In Ephesus, there were many people, dealers and merchants, and they came from Jerusalem to conduct business. Emmanuel, Jesus, had gone away from Jerusalem because of his persecution of himself and his people, and he feared recognition. After he had lived in Ephesus only a few days, behold, one of the merchants recognized him and told those who were like-minded thereof. They belonged to a secret association, which they called the Association of the Essenes. Emmanuel and the Essenes. Emmanuel was brought by them to a secret meeting, for they feared the people because their association was not permitted. Among them was one named Euthan, and he was the oldest of the secret association in Jerusalem, and he spoke, saying, behold, that which happened to you in your life is very well known to us, but we do not know why you are still among the living. Please tell us your secret. Emmanuel was guided to tell them nothing for fear he would be shackled and returned into Jerusalem. So he told them only a bit about his flight from Jerusalem. But Euthan, the oldest, said, behold, we belong to a secret association, which is called the Association of the Essenes. What are pressing on in our knowledge is not attuned to the teachings of the scribes, but is attuned to the secrets of nature and everything that is inexplicable to people. But your knowledge has progressed greatly and extensively and exceeds our knowledge by great measures. Therefore, please join our association and be one of us and teach us your knowledge. But Emmanuel answered and said, though I should teach you my knowledge, it would not agree with your teachings, because you go according to human wisdom and set your doctrines thusly. I go according to the spiritual truth and laws of God and of thy creation. Therefore, our teachings are enemies to one another. Nor am I interested in spreading my knowledge in secret places, nor in secrecy of any sort, and which furthermore is not permitted by the laws of the lands. You do that which you do in secret, since you are the secret association of the Essenes. But follow me time to consider the pros and cons for 3 days, and then I shall tell you my answer. If my answer is yes, I shall return. If no, I shall be gone. Euthan said, be it as you say. Peace be with you, brother. We will await 3 days. But Emmanuel did not ponder at length, but instead went quickly far away into the countryside, and there explained to his people, behold, the association of the Essenes lives in a false cult, but they gather much of my teachings and simply add it to the old, corrupting both. Their old teachings are not the teachings of wisdom, therefore it cannot sustain, for it is not of truth, and therefore has become worthless. They have recognized this and are now wavering my teachings into theirs to make a new cult thereof, and they insult me as labeling me with them. They will say that I am connected with their association and was helped by them from the beginning of my life physical journey. They will also say that my teachings were from their original teachings, cult, and they have saved me and tutored me. Further, they will say that my followers did also spring forth from their cult. Further, they will say that I am the only begotten Son of God. That is not truth. I tell you now that I never belonged to an association of the Essenes, that I have nothing in common with it, and I have never received any help from them. Many cults and churches will use my name. The Essene Association is not the only group that will make use of my name, for many cults will arise and build churches in my name and glorify me in them to make it more credible for the people so that they can become more enslaved. Many cults will be established in my name, but only for the purpose that men can be enslaved in his spirit thereby, giving the cults great power over the people and the land and over the money. But I tell you that no cult is justified unless it solely recognizes the creation at the highest. There will be no cult which will preach total truth, knowledge, and wisdom. But in 2 times 1,000 years, the time will come that my teachings will be preached anew without being falsified. Until then, there will be so many false cults that they can no longer be counted. They will be founded on the blood of men and on hatred, greed, and power. But as they are established, they shall be destroyed again, for the truth shall triumph. For there is no untruth that shall be denounced as a lie. And there is nothing hidden that shall not become evident. Man shall recognize that is in front of his face, and what is hidden from him will reveal himself to him when he searches for truth and explanation of wisdom. Truth and the laws of creation do not change. Truth lies deeply in the laws of creation, and there man shall seek it and find it. He who truly seeks shall not stop seeking until he finds. When he finds, he will be deeply shaken and astonished, but then he will rule over the universe as creator intended. For man must recognize that the kingdom is within himself and also outside himself. He must also know that he is sent as a guardian for those other wondrous creations within the creation. So be it, men would better turn his eye unto the ancient ones who bear the symbol of the red hand, for theirs is a passage through the red path to light and truth. Men must turn from the black hand, from that is the symbol of destruction. The lost cities of your South America and newly arriving space visitors are greatly connected, and both play a most vital role in your present circumstances. Lemuria is labeled for the past, part of the great Pacific continent of Mu. The destruction of Mu and its submergence began before your year 30,000 BC. This destruction continued for thousands of years until the final portion of Mu, known by then as Lemuria, was submerged in a series of disasters. This occurred just prior to the destruction of Poseidonus, the last remnant of Atlantic continent Atlantis. Just as you ones are informed today of how it will be and turn away, those people too continue their blind ways. Those workings on the left black hand path continue diabolic experiments and heeded not my handwriting on the wall. Just as today on your sickened earth, millions of inhabitants are continuing to evolve themselves in every degradation possible, even though the signs of the times are clearly discernible. Precious ancient knowledge preserved. The masters and entities working on the right-hand red path began to collect the precious records and documents from the libraries of Lemuria. Each master was chosen by the Council of Great White Hierarchy, Lighted Brotherhood, to go to different sections of the world whereby scientific and spiritual knowledge of past sequences could be placed in secure preservation. Thus, wondrous treasures are preserved unto this day. At the time of upheaval, as these continents make changes, certain other places will be thrust upward, just as was the Peruvian area of Titicaca, and no man will recognize of it. But it will be those same places which were preserved for the going down of new that will sustain and thrust even higher into the safety from the ocean's depths. You ones in this sector are receiving of this message, for you are in location of a great and enduring change. At the proper time, the history and correctness shall come forth from its proper source, and beloved Thedra, who has tended the documentation in total trustworthiness, shall bring forth Sanander's personal lessons of how it was. In addition, the one of my beloved council of the ancient tradition shall bring forth those oral teachings in truth. Those who have given forth the treasures and sold of their tradition shall reap of the wind, for they were not given permission, therefore their work is not pure but tainted with greed and human gain. The scribe will simply put to the paper that which is given to her by impulse signal in translated format. Be kind, O man of earth, for most of these things are not according to her own knowledge, as implanted by past experience, earth teachings, and educational lessons. In the sojourn, therefore, the impact is great. It is the greatest test of a scribe to put to print that which is almost too shocking to accept within itself. There is no darkness within this scribe, nor within her space, and she is protected by my hand. For it is mine seal I place upon these words. So it be, and Selah, for as I speak, so shall it come to be. Take a respite Dharma to collect of your fragments, your beloved grandfather of the silver ray of Creator, one of my most beloved firstborn, Sanat Kumara, will bring unto you message to be penned. Blessings, little sparrow, for ye please me greatly. Peace, I am. So I'm going to leave it there. Very interesting. And there's a lot of truth in that, believe it or not, that I can perceive from my perspective and opinion. We live in hell, and we are all amongst evil, and people are unaware that everything that was just spoken, especially about places of worship, it's telling you the truth. And if you don't want to hear it this way, there are other people, my favorite Jason being one of them, who shows you more evidence and upon evidence and documents and papers and evidence and more evidence, and from different sources and different places and different things. It's not easy when you find out your paradigm has been twisted and turned upside down. But we've all been lied to, deceived, and placed in situations where once you know the truth, you're amongst a small population of people who have to burden the suffering of others and suffer amongst ourselves because people are blind-eyed, or they know that what they're doing is wrong and a part of the greed system. Once you really know what has been done to us in the last 4 years, the beginning of time nonetheless. But in our paradigm right now, you're going to get angry. I had to get over my anger. I had to release a lot of that stuff because it doesn't serve me anymore. I have to look forward and project and try to manifest and put into action my caring ability to bring forth knowledge and also take care of myself and hope that I find more like-minded people to be around. Even if we don't agree on everything, it doesn't matter. It's perception, and everybody's perception is individualized and is different. But we can all come to commonalities that things are wrong. And if you don't see that they're wrong, then you can help me pay to move to a new place. You can help me put gas in my car and food in my stomach if you're so blinded by what the truth is being shown to you. So next time I will start on chapter 3. This is a lengthy paper. Hopefully it stays up. Sending each and every one of you love and light. Again, you don't need to agree with everything. Take what resonates with you. As some people don't even acknowledge Sananda and don't acknowledge some of these names as being anything more than of the evil agenda. And that's absolutely fine. Again, you have to pluck the truth out of what you read and use your own inner guidance system and discernment. If anything, this is a lesson of how to discern for yourself by no one else. Stop allowing everybody to dictate to you how to feel and what to feel and who to believe and who to watch. It's all within your heart. It's all within you. Again, it's okay to watch other people. It's okay to listen to different books. It's okay. Pluck the truth that sounds good to you out of it. And I'll leave it there. Hope everybody has a magnificent day. If you are in a place that you're up early and you can get the pictures of the precession of planets, please take some pictures for me. Email them to me because apparently I have cloudy skies and it's going to get more cloudy. But when I'm supposed to be able to see these planets in precession of each other? Because, you know, why not? Why can I not have that one day to go see these beautiful things happen? Oh, because we're going to implant clouds so you can't. I see what you're doing there, evil little guys. But if you're in a situation, in a state that you can see those planets, please take pictures and email them to me. I'd be more than happy to see them. I'm into that stuff. So sending each and every one of you love and light, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.